Hello, friends, and welcome back into NBA Now. I am Tom. That is Jimmy. Let's dive into all the latest rumors and news. This might actually surprise you guys, but the number one rumor out there right now is around Russell Westbrook and whether or not he will be traded here. First up, though, in terms of Russell, of course, we know the Thunder are shopping him and all that, blah, blah, blah. It's not really new. But the Orlando Magic, per a report from a local Orlando beat writer, is that they actually don't want him. They're not likely to trade for him.
I get that they're not likely to trade for him because of the assets they would probably have to give up in a deal. I don't understand not having interest in him because you have an all-star in Nikola Vucevic right now. You can argue whether he's worth an all-star or not, but in the Eastern Conference, he is. And then you have a win-now guy, kind of an Aaron Gordon. You just re-signed Terrence Ross. If I'm Orlando, why not at least be interested and see what the Thunder have to say with the trade? Now, it depends on what the asking price is, so I get it from that standpoint, but the Magic haven't won anything in a long time, so
I think maybe one of the bigger issues here for Orlando is the money involved. Because Russell Westbrook is expensive. He has one of the top 5 contracts in the NBA in terms of overall value and per year value. And yes, he did average the triple-double, but he's not exactly an efficient player. But I liked the Magic, kind of like you did, Jimmy, as a potential dark horse, but there weren't really any real connections there.
Right.
But I thought that it did make sense because you could ship out some combination of DJ Augustine, Aaron Gordon, and another asset. Maybe it is Mo Bamba, since you have Vucevic, then you just paid him. That works out from a money perspective. And that team, I think, is an obvious playoff team in the Eastern Conference.
yeah, I agree. I would love to see Russ, Vucevic, and then, Jonathan Isaac, I think, is going to be a guy that could be considered for most improved player this next season. Evan Fournier helps you stretch out the floor, which you absolutely need with a guy like Russell Westbrook running the point guard position. And then Terrence Ross and Aminu, I like them a lot as bench pieces. Maybe Okeke eventually comes around. Like, the Magic could be really good with Russell Westbrook, but I understand not wanting to have that money on your books if you are the Orlando Magic. But there's a lot of other teams that are going to be interested in Russ.
All right, so some potential fits here for Westbrook. The Miami Heat, of course, have been heavily linked there. That's not a huge surprise. The Detroit Pistons, we've heard them mentioned several times. Minnesota and New York are also possibilities. They're a little bit more complicated. And then on the super complicated side, the Houston Rockets as well, who the money is so difficult to actually work out there. So what team will trade for Russell Westbrook? Let us know in the comment section. We'll give some shout-outs here live on air as well. And also, make sure you go check out the community tab here on our channel, and you can send us your own Russell Westbrook trade packages for a video we'll be doing here.
It's a good thing we aren't, and a lot of our watchers are not GMs, because I'm not sure how long they'd last.
I would be a great GM.
If I had to make a trade for Russell Westbrook, if I had to pick a team right now, it's got to be the Miami Heat. Like, there's been more smoke around the Miami Heat than any team, really, in connection with Russell Westbrook. And the assets and what they could do make the most sense, I think.
I see Heat in there quite a bit. Monkey Mun says Lakers. With the Lakers, unless you're trading Anthony Davis or Russell or LeBron for Russ, literally can't happen.
No,
the money
cannot.
does not work out there. I see some Mavs in there for you, Jimmy. Pistons, Thunder, Houston, Knicks, all kinds of different options in there. So let us know what you guys think in the comments section. Speaking of the Knicks here, their deal with Reggie Bullock. It was a 2-year, $21 million deal with a player option in year 2. Although that is now being reworked, which is It was weird when that came down.
Yeah, because it came out that they're reevaluating his, quote, fitness level. Mm-hmm. So either A, he got really fat after the Lakers missed the playoffs and they're scared he's not going to be able to get back into shape, or B, he has some weird health concern that nobody really knows anything about. Maybe it's...
Or if that injury he dealt with last year got worse somewhere
Yeah, I mean, the injuries he had last season were neck tightness, which I don't think it's going to be anything from that, foot contusions, which... don't think it's anything from that, but then the other one was plantar fasciitis,
which could be a real issue
so
there.
That could actually be something there, but we really have no details on why he's not fit to play.
That one's very much up in the air. The Knicks are trying to still bring back Bullock, and his agent even said that he was very happy with how the Knicks have done things here, as opposed to like just vetoing the deal, which they could have done assuming he did fail that physical. But Bullock does bring you three-point shooting. So maybe they rework this deal. It ends up being like a 1-year deal, which the Knicks want the best bench in the NBA. So it helps that.
I like Bullock as a scorer. He's not a good defender, but he's also not a bad defender. Like I wouldn't say he's a liability by any means. But yeah, you put him out on the wing at 37.7% from 3 like last season. He's pretty good. And also, Detroit Pistons fans didn't want him to leave Detroit. Like, they loved him there. And then when he got to the Lakers, he only played a handful of games, so I think they were kind of indifferent of whether or not he was gone. But the Knicks, I guess, could use him, but I don't really know.
Take off Bullock, and the bench is still pretty darn good there.
Yeah, I mean, if I were the Knicks, I would obviously rather have Bullock than Wayne Ellington, but I'd rather just let Alonzo Trier become what he could become instead of having Bullock take minutes away from him.
All right, folks, do us a favor. Give us a like on this video. Certain members of the Chat Sports staff who will not be named don't think you pay attention to what we say and that you won't actually give us a like here. Can you believe that, Jimmy?
I can't, actually. Low-key.
Wow,
but
you're hating on him, too.
Just a little bit. But
apparently, I'm the only non-hater here.
But if we get enough likes, then that changes a lot of things. If we see the thumbs go up, it's already gone up like 20-plus likes since we even asked that question, so keep it going.
Yeah, up those numbers there, folks. We appreciate it, so give us that like. Now, part of the Reggie Bullock Knicks drama, when they rework that deal, they will save money. And now they're pursuing Marcus Morris, who might go full-on DeAndre Jordan and bail on his agreement with San Antonio to sign a deal with the Knicks instead.
Hey, maybe it's just Texas teams, man. I don't know what it is. But, look, the Spurs literally dumped Davis Bertans. Mm-hmm. They got rid of him. He was a great three-point shooter. I mean, going into the All-Star break last season, I think he had the best three-point percentage. They reworked Damari Carroll's contract so that they could sign him and have enough money for Marcus Morris. I believe they made that a sign-in trade. And they were like, hey, Morris, here's 2 years, $20 million. He's like, yeah, for sure. And then the Knicks are now offering 1 year, $15 million, which, Tom, last time I did math, $20 million is more than $15 million.
But 1 year versus 2 years. So you're getting the extra 5.
State
you
tax.
Get 5 next year.
No state tax in Texas.
No player in the history of the NBA or any sport has ever bothered about the state tax.
But look, this is a weird move. Also, I don't understand it for the Knicks because he's a power forward. He really is.
So I am told that Greg Popovich was driving around downtown San Antonio begging Markieff through text for the address to his house so he can talk to Marcus Morris.
That is very interesting. I heard the Knicks kidnapped Marcus Morris and literally locked him in a home with James Dolan until he commits. He's still not out because he hasn't committed to that 1 year, $15 million. So he still may be in a house with James Dolan for all we know.
All right, now the Spurs are optimistic they'll find a way to finalize that deal, but they are looking into other free agents just in case. You made the note that the Spurs literally traded away a player already. That's already a done deal.
Yeah, so he's gone.
So that they could sign and trade for Damari Carroll and then use the MLE to add Marcus Morris instead.
Has the Damari Carroll signing been announced officially?
I
don't know about that one, but whether it has or not, at this point, Marcus Morris is back in free agency, I guess, and he would be at the top of the list. I mean, he's the best available guy.
Oh, instantly.
I mean, him and Bullock. I think Bullock is also up there depending on what's actually wrong with him. But Morris is a good player. Like, he had a really good year for the Boston Celtics. He was an important role player for sure.
And again, he'd be a perfect, maybe not full-on sixth man, but in that like 7th, 8th-ish range. I think he's a fantastic fit. Shot pretty well from deep. And the Spurs wanted to bring him in, of course. So we'll update their current lineup. We'll pull Marcus Morris off that list. We'll put Luka Samanic on there instead. It's still a almost all guard and forward unit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like this Spurs team almost at all. I mean, DeJounte Murray's coming off an injury. I think he'll be great, but he's still a huge question mark. DeMar DeRozan doesn't shoot threes. Jakob Poeltl is not really a starting caliber center at this point. Aldridge, you never know what you're going to get now in the career he's in. Derek White had a great playoff run, but we haven't seen him consistently play throughout the year. There's a lot of question marks with this Spurs team for probably the first time in a long time.
Yeah. All right, so if Marcus Morris bails on the Spurs, or is he a snake? Let us know. Use the snake emoji if you think so. Is he a snake? Yes or no?
I mean, yeah.
Is he a snaky snake?
He is. He's kind of like a...
What kind of snake?
It's kind of like a garden snake,
okay,
where it's like, he's not going to hurt you that bad, but it still scares you.
It's not like the python of Kevin Durant.
Yeah, you still don't want to see a garden snake slithering around. You don't want to see Marcus Morris leave. He's not going to hurt you that bad if you miss out on him, but still.
I see quite a few no's in here, and then, of course, plenty of snake emojis, too. Someone called him a rat.
That was pretty good,
and
too.
There's a gorilla emoji in there. But now the snake emojis have come in.
Yeah, I mean...
in the end, this comes down to how much is your word worth?
I mean, the more I twins, not that much. So, that's all I'm saying.
All All right, I think the Snakes have it there in the end. I see. Oh, that's a dragon in there too. NBA Insight put an okay. Now we're just all over the map with different emojis. So we got chicken emojis. We have a burger emoji. It's okay. We're gonna move on there. Shaun Livingston waived by the Golden State Warriors. What do you make of this one? There, we've heard some buzz he was gonna retire. Apparently he doesn't want to yet.
I didn't realize he's only 33. Like I thought he was way older than
his
33
body's older,
years
though.
old. His body definitely is. It deteriorated pretty fast early on in his career, and luckily he's gotten healthy at this point. He's a serviceable backup. But I don't know where he fits in the NBA now because point guards, for the most part, unless your name is Ben Simmons, have to be able to shoot a three-pointer.
Livingston literally cannot.
Livingston attempted 2 last season. 2 total three-pointers, which were probably like he had to heave up a 3 at the end of the shot clock. He
hasn't made one in 2 years, and he's a point guard.
So I don't really know where he fits in the league, but I do think some team will go ahead and sign him for the veteran minimum, and he probably just won't get that much run anymore.
Yeah, so Livingston is not a key contributor these days. His mid-range jumper, which used to be so fantastic, wasn't the same as what it was last year. His play clearly declined. Do you think he gets signed by a team? And if so, what team do you think it should be?
I really would have said the Golden State Warriors, ironically. Like, if he didn't just get waived by the Warriors, I would have said them because they lost Quinn Cook, and they could probably use a backup, but Livingston's not the answer there. I would like to see him go back to the Clippers and finish out kind of what he started with the Los Angeles Clippers, and he's a backup to Patrick Beverley. Obviously, SGA is gone now.
Lou Williams is there, so I mean, but yeah, I think third point guard's probably the best.
And I think Lou could even play the 2 at times if you really wanted to play Livingston that much, but I don't think.
I see some Mavs in the comments. Do you want him on the Mavs?
I went on a rant on a podcast about Shaun Livingston to Dallas because I got so many questions about it, and it makes like not 0 cents. It makes like negative 17 cents. Like there's no reason the Mavs would pick up Shaun Livingston. So no, not the Mavs.
Okay. I have 2 teams here.
Okay.
The Thunder, if and when they trade Russ, because they could want a vet to help mentor SGA.
Yeah, I like that.
And
actually.
why don't you just embrace it? No point guard shooting. The Sixers.
Just for fun. Yeah. I like that.
All right, speaking of old guys, Vince Carter. Now, the Hawks are reportedly a long shot to bring Carter back, which I think does make sense because Carter still wants a bigger role, and the Hawks have younger wings. They just drafted 2 of them in the top 10 picks this year who need more playing time.
Yeah, I don't know what Vince Carter's last year in the NBA, which of course he is going to retire after this next season, is going to look like.
Chase a ring, Vince, please.
I hope he wins a ring. But Vince just doesn't strike me as the guy to chase a ring, but who knows? I mean, it's his last year, why not? And he still has good minutes. Like, he had some good minutes for the Atlanta Hawks last season when he got playing time. I'll always cheer for Vince Carter. Wherever he goes, I'm going to cheer for him.
He shot 39% from deep and put up 7 points. Better player right now, Vince Carter or Carmelo Anthony?
Vince Carter by 2,000 miles. It's not even close.
Give me Vince.
I mean, it's not close. It's Vince Carter.
Again, for the Hawks, I think in reality, the second they added Jabari Parker, that was a pretty clear sign. Hey, Vince, love you, but see ya.
Also,
plus Evan Turner, plus Allen Crabbe.
Yeah, you don't want him taking minutes away from anybody, but you also don't want to just sit him on your bench because he's a Hall of Famer. So you can't just like let him sit there and rot away in his final season. So we'll see where Vince Carter ends up going. I think the Spurs could actually make some sense for Vince Carter.
Now, I think Vince Carter will be the answer to this question for some of you out there, but who is your all-time favorite NBA player?
Ooh, that's a good question. Yeah. We haven't asked this question before on the show.
We have, or we did
at least since I've been here.
Does not to be current, can be past or present, or future, I guess, too.
Mine's pretty obvious. It's the big German, Dirk Nowitzki.
Carmelo Anthony. Oh, okay.
Oh, no. Not Carmelo. Never Carmelo, but Dirk Nowitzki. Forever and ever. There's a lot of Dirks rolling in. I see Shaq,
there
Kobe,
are a lot of Zazas too.
Steph Curry, Andres Biedrins just got a shout out. That's pretty wild. If Andres
shout out to dude who said me, weird flex. I don't know if I saw it in there. For me, Allen Iverson.
Okay, yeah, I remember you saying that.
AI is my favorite player. He's why I wore the shooting sleeve.
I love Allen Iverson.
Yeah,
love him.
All right, the Orlando Magic. They've brought back Khem Birch. This is your guy, Jimmy. You're a fan of him.
I do like Khem Birch. He's still super young. He's got an incredible NBA body. He is super athletic, but he's 6'9". So he is the backup center right now, and he'll probably be backup center. I mean, Mo Bamba's hurt again. They had to sit him out for summer league. He plays one game, Mo Bamba.
What's better, the song or the player? Let me know in the comments section.
Don't I believe in Mo Bamba. But anyway, Bamba plays 15 minutes in the Summer League. He scores 15 points, had a great game, and then had some soreness, and they stopped playing him. So Khem Birch is going to be really valuable to this Orlando Magic team as the backup big man if they want to continue to make a push for the playoffs, which I believe they do. Now, his minutes, his points per game and everything don't really stand out to you.
But he's a fine defensive player.
He's a good rebounder. He's kind of your high-energy big man off the bench.
And you don't need 20 minutes per game out of him. You need like 10.
Yeah, I mean,
Vucevic is going to play so much.
Vucevic is going to be your guy. Jonathan Isaac could get some spot minutes there. But, yeah, Birch is a serviceable big man that I think that's a pretty good deal. 2 years, $6 million, I believe is what it was.
Yes, and the big thing there for the Orlando Magic side of things, it also allows them to stay under the luxury tax by about $672K. So they just barely sneak in under that. And it also might be why they don't want to bring on Russ, back to that earlier rumor, because they don't want to go over the luxury tax.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, folks, we got a giveaway for you guys from our friends over at MyBookie. Head over to chatsports.com/NBA now. Use promo code CHATNBA for a 100% deposit bonus. That's chatsports.com/NBA now. And use that promo code CHATNBA. It gets you that sweet, sweet 100% bonus. So you put down $50, then they're going to give you another $50 for free. And then on top of that, once you sign up and deposit and place your first bet, email us at promo@chatsports.com. That's promo@chatsports.com. After you sign up and deposit, place your first bet at chatsports.com/NBA now using promo code CHATNBA, and we'll get you hooked up with a free NBA jersey. It's the best deal out there. $50 for a legit NBA jersey, Jimmy.
Yeah, I mean, look, you get some money to make some bets, and then you also get an NBA jersey for free, an authentic one, a real one. That's high quality. It's not going to fade away when you throw it in the wash for the first time.
So then to Tyus Jones. This one is officially official. He had previously signed the offer sheet of 3 years, 24, I think it was, million there, with the Grizzlies. The Timberwolves, though, declined to match that offer sheet.
Yeah, look, I think I think it makes sense for the Memphis Grizzlies. I think the Minnesota Timberwolves maybe should have matched, but the Memphis Grizzlies let DeLon Wright walk. They needed a backup, and that's what Tyus Jones is now. Of course, to Ja Morant. Like, he's going to be playing behind Ja Morant. They said they liked DeAnthony Melton, but obviously they didn't like him that much because they went out and paid $8 million per year to Tyus Jones. So
now, for Jones, he didn't shoot that well from three-point range. A big reason why Minnesota passed on this is because they want max cap space next year in free agency.
And my question is, for who? Because I look at the names on the list of max free agents or free agents for the 2019, or I guess I should say 2020 NBA offseason. The guy that tops the list is Draymond Green. Draymond Green alongside...
I assume they want a point guard for starters. You know?
I would guess, but I don't even... Who would you say the best point guard that becomes available is in that...
Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, and that doesn't fit their timeline whatsoever. Now,
Goran
the Grizzlies...
Dragic.
The Grizzlies, again, this is why they went out and got Tyus Jones, because they needed the point guard behind Ja Morant. Obviously, Morant's going to get all your minutes. He was the number 2 overall pick. Now, if he's unhealthy, that's a problem, but Jones is young enough to where he can slot in there. I say Grayson Allen's probably the starter for now, and then Valanciunas and Jaren Jackson. I think Jay Crowder stays, but I could also see him being on the move halfway through the season. This is kind of what the Grizzlies look like. But the Timberwolves, on the other hand, their new backup point guard is Shabazz Napier. And like you said, this move was to free up cap space for next season, for next summer.
Yeah, or not tied up, I guess, is maybe the better phrase there.
And whatever that is for is going to be the biggest question
T
mark.
comes off the books. You're still stuck with Wiggins. I think Covington's still on there, but T coming off puts him in that max cap space. I might have to make a few other moves, but I am very curious what ends up happening in the end for Minnesota in terms of who they actually target there in free agency, because it's not a great free agency class, plain and simple. And this Minnesota team isn't that close to being competitive anyway in terms of like top end championship competition.
Fred VanVleet.
He is not worth the max contract.
He's the max contract they're going to throw the money at next offseason. I don't know. It is what it is. It's going to be interesting to see how they play with their money and what they do with it, should they have enough to play with.
Of course, tying up Wiggins with his big contract is a bit of an issue there as well.